up, guys? This is Shay.
And this is Matt.
This is the Building Small Business Podcast. Today we're here with Jeremiah Oschwald, owner of a couple different businesses. Tell us a little bit about what you're doing, man.
Howdy. So we do real estate marketing and Overland outdoor lifestyle marketing, or help brands with their branding. Much like where we're sitting, all these products around us are companies that we work with.
That sounds like a fun gig. I think Matt and I originally met you through your real estate marketing that you would do for listings and so on.
Yes. I started probably around the same time you did in real estate. It's been 9 years.
I'm 5 in.
5 in?
Yep. But I would have met you like 4 years ago.
Okay. So yeah, I was probably been doing the real estate stuff for 7 years. I did a little bit of small business social media, restaurant social media, which didn't really go anywhere because small businesses like restaurants don't typically have a big budget.
No.
It kind of just springboarded meeting Josh Shepler of the Kentucky Life.
Very nice. We know Josh.
Yep.
So he does property management more than real estate. And he really got me into it by saying, hey, come film my parents' house. And I was like, real estate? Why? He goes, well, he gave me one of the better pieces of advice. He says, you're going to make more money. If there's more money in selling things to real estate agents than there is being a real estate agent.
I think that was the first thing I heard, like when I got my license.
I mean, signs and marketing pieces. Oh, yeah. It's
true?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, and then he introduced me to Dana Gentry Jackson, which was the Keller Williams team leader at that time. Mm-hmm. And she goes, oh, come to one of our meetings and just talk about doing video. Because I'd just done the one house for Josh's parents, I think it was. And now that I look back at it, it was terrible. It was. I actually apologized to him. I was like, it was so bad. It was like a cell phone, a GoPro, and it was all handheld. But back then, it was like cutting edge.
But 7 years ago, were there even that many people doing real estate videos?
I was the first one in Central Kentucky that I can remember, because he was like really looking for it for a while.
Nice.
Because he went to all these different conferences, and everywhere else they were doing, like Miami and all the bigger cities like LA, where there are actual like film hubs. And then I went to that meeting, and I walk in the room, and there's 150 agents staring at me. So
we were there.
Yeah. I was a little overwhelmed at that time. And after that first meeting, I pretty much just said, we're going to start doing these things. This is, we've only done a couple. This is what we're doing. And I had pulled up some random video statistics I still look at Inman every once in a while, and they haven't changed in 7 years.
They're entirely just unrelated to the market.
Correct. And there's things like, listings with video get 1,400% more views. Relative to what?
Yeah. Since when?
Since when?
Since they were just pictures?
Exactly. Exactly. So, but after that meeting, I had instantly 25 listings on my calendar, and it was being thrown into the deep end. And it was awesome. And I didn't touch another real estate or restaurant video or small business video for a couple of years, because it was just slam packed from then.
So this was kind of overnight.
Yeah.
I mean, you literally went from one job to
Josh gave me a 6-figure business by the second year.
That's awesome.
Yeah. And then by the end of that year, I got so many requests for drone stuff, I went and got my license. And then after that, I started doing just blank land, commercial property. It expanded to everyone said, oh, you're doing all the different niches. Like, no, I'm just doing real estate. Auctions. And then from there, it was just, if I wasn't working 7 days a week, I wanted it. It was a great business to be in, especially in Central Kentucky. As we all know, we've had the urban development line in our area has not grown.
Yeah.
So all the land in this town has been just built out. So there's always new homes, and it's wonderful.
Well, so I guess when you got started, that would have been, 2014, 2015 kind of time?
Yeah, probably.
So that was kind of at the beginning of when this started getting crazy.
Yes.
I got my license in 2015. I remember hearing from a lot of the agents who I was being mentored by and so on. This was the start of it being really crazy, and obviously we know what it's like right now. So you kind of hit it perfect then too.
It's funny. People say, "Oh, how's your business this year?" Every year, it's are you okay? Because it can be a down or an up. And it's funny because if there's no inventory, it's more important for agents to advertise themselves. If there's a ton of inventory, it's more important to advertise the listings to get it in front of more people. Right. So whether it's good or bad, I've done fairly well, and I'm very lucky with that. This year, last year, COVID was the best year ever. I think we did 1,342 listings.
Jesus.
I
I mean, did you basically do how many listings were there last year?
there's the average of 8,000 to 9,000 a year around Central Kentucky.
Yeah, I guess a lot of land.
I was actually going to ask, like, so there's all this business, and then there's this lack of business this year. Like,
It's turned where, so it's been luxury listings, commercial, big land, because to be honest, people with money still have money. People are taking money out of the stock market and putting it into real estate because, you get a larger yield on your return. I think it's like 7-8%, almost guaranteed.
Yeah.
Landlords are buying a ton of property up right now. On my street alone, we live in the Garden Springs area. There's been like 6 houses gone up, and they've sold within 24 hours with multiple offers. Everyone knows how crazy the market is at the moment. But the difference is now there's people coming with cash buyers, so appraisal be damned, they're getting that house.
right.
So it's crazy to see. But if I show up to a listing and I'm just like, hey, if you want this to advertise yourself, great, let's continue to do this. If you're trying to sell the home, don't waste your money. I'm not going to make an agent spend money they don't need to. Just like if I get to a listing, the drone's not going to help you sell this house.
This is why people succeed, because they're just realistic.
Yeah.
You don't lie to people just to take their money.
No, and that's I've seen a lot of people start up real estate marketing businesses, and what they'll go into offices like KW and they'll pay to be preferred vendors, and they're pissed off because they don't get business, and it's a relationship thing over a business decision. At the end of the day, I may cost a little bit less for somebody, cost a little bit more, but they use me because I firmly believe, and I've had other mentors tell me this, is you give so many value points that when you ask for a price, there's no hesitation. Next day turnaround time, 24 to 48 hour turnaround time. I know the real estate market. I've been in it long enough. We'll get you on camera. I'll help you with social media posting if you need to. License-free music. Your own text animations if you use this regularly. I'll do the logo work for you. Like all these different things. I'll work with your schedule. Or you schedule if we need to same day. I don't care. There's no cancellation fees. Oh, by the way, it's $200 for a walkthrough with drone and this, and you get 2 versions, one for L-Bar that's unbranded, one that's branded. And okay, yeah, win. Like, give enough value to people, and they'll use you every time. It is a relationship, much like you guys.
Yeah.
Everything in real estate is relationship based.
Yeah, I mean, if I know I'm gonna get exactly what I'm paying for from someone who knows exactly what they're doing, yeah, price is like down the list on what I'm looking for at that point.
I see that being a struggle with newer agents because they don't have the experience of relationships. They run through their family members and their friends, and then realize, oh crap, I have to go actually find business. And that is a good thing about Keller Williams and people that offer teams.
Yeah.
Because then you can learn from people and get referrals. But real estate's no joke. I wouldn't want to do it.
Yeah, it's a lot of work.
It is.
Speaking of work, the other side of business for you.
Yes.
It's more of a passion-driven business, I feel.
Absolutely. So Overland Pioneers, Dad said travel while you're young, and he manages Baptist Healthcare for the region, and he works his tail off, and I have the best parents in the world. I've never wanted for anything, but I also grew up working. So for him to say travel while you're young, even if it costs you, I mean that was a big thing for us. We grew up camping and whatnot, so we started Overland Pioneers after getting our first 2-door Jeep, putting a rooftop tent on it, and just going out and trying some stuff, and it was amazing. We could get out in the middle of nowhere and just pop a tent on top of our Jeep and just camp anywhere. But I also didn't want to miss out on income while I was gone, and I really fell in love with helping companies and brands with their marketing. But for us, we didn't want to make it about us. The travel vlogs that we have put out were a byproduct of going out to do marketing for other people. So, for example, this last 2 weeks ago, we went to Salt Lake City for the Outside Adventure Expo, but we spent about a week traveling out there from Wyoming, Nebraska, the Salt Flats, taking pictures and videos for all these companies that we work with.
Very jealous of that, by the way.
Oh,
even though I literally just got back from Wyoming.
I was gonna say you travel almost more than I do, man.
Yeah, you get to take your car and go camping.
Yeah, but I mean, I hate the word blessed. Hashtag blessed.
Yeah, it's hard. It's overused, I would say.
Absolutely, like the word overlanding is overused. It's vehicle dependent based travel. Like we've got a refrigerator in here. We've got a 22-gallon water tank in the trailer with a instant propane water heater. We're not struggling.
Yeah.
We also say, oh, do you need all the, you don't, there's a lot of people say you don't need all these things to go out and just camp. Like, yeah, but now I can enjoy the outdoors more because I have these things.
People that say that don't understand how much convenience matters.
Yeah, or they just don't have the extra income to put into the bigger gear, but there's always a budget option in overlanding. That's why I love overlanding, because there is a budget awning, there is a budget tent. Slap one on the back. Like I said, I had a 2-door JK with 140,000 miles on it that we drove to Nova Scotia.
Was that 5-speed?
Yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say
No, 6-speed. 6-speed.
Okay, well, sorry, manual. We went somewhere in a neighborhood, and I was like, I can't believe he takes this thing which once you get used to it, it's fine. But just going everywhere in that sort of thing is
Yeah, I'm out
tough.
on that. I owned a 5-speed for a little while. I hated that thing.
It
I mean, I like
sucks.
them.
I'm
but
so
going,
happy with this.
yeah.
Now. Well, this is an
off-road,
8-speed automatic, and the gas mileage is amazing without the trailer. With the trailer, we still get about 15 miles per gallon. That's pretty
still
good.
really good with. I can't see how big those tires are. Sorry.
35s.
Okay.
So you said you grew up camping. Do you think you started getting outdoors even more when you started this overlanding
Oh,
thing?
100%, because camping was casual then. It was just, hey, let's go camping for the weekend. My dad's degree was in forestry. He used to fight forest fires, and he used to be a powder monkey, blowing up highways through mountains and stuff. It was like the cool dad growing up kind of thing. And he went to work for IBM, retired from IBM, opened up Cheney Cardiologists, closed those out, and went to work with Baptist. And he's like, he works his tail off, and he's a great mentor for the work ethic stuff. But I know he has a desire to travel more. He just bought a Gladiator.
Sweet.
We're going to start building it out so he can get out with us. They're going to buy a camper. Yeah, heck
That's
yeah, man.
awesome.
He's got grandkids now, and we want to get everybody out.
Yeah.
So this was like the next step. So these guys, the fridge in the back, Snowmaster fridge, it's a 12-volt fridge. You just plug it into a socket. It's wonderful. That was the first company where I worked with.
It keeps these nice and frosty.
Yes, ching ching. And then the second company blew my mind. We went up to the Keweenaw Peninsula in the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. So you've got the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. You got Lake Michigan, Lake Superior, and then you've got a tiny little peninsula that goes all the way out into Lake Superior.
The Yoopers.
The Yoopers, yes. Don't you know? By the way, their local dish is called a pasty. I made the mistake of going into a place and asking where the pasties were. And the woman behind the counter said, you wear pasties, you eat pasties. That was my first Youper experience.
All right, I'll see you guys some other time.
So what the hell's a pasty?
It's a miner's dish. So up there, it's all copper mining. So it's a pastry that's full of like potatoes and meat, and you put it on the head of a shovel and you put it in the fire. It's a way that you can contain this thing, and then you cook it when you get there. And it's super good.
Kind of like a meat pie, but like...
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's all encompassing.
Well, you should have made one for us for the podcast.
I'm sorry.
I'm kind of pissed.
Next time.
We'll be right back.
So at that event, when I went up there, I met these guys. This company makes all the military trailers for the world, pretty much. So all M111 trailers, all the you see on Craigslist selling trailer, they make those trailers, and they have for years. This is their consumer grade. They've never had a frame break. So, I mean, they're just really well-built trailers. And they were up there. And again, I had been hanging out with this guy for about 2 years now. And I told him I'm thinking about buying a trailer. He goes, well, just let's work with you. And it was a relationship. It wasn't a, hey, I want something from you. It was, hey, let's work together. And I think that, again, that comes down to relationships, building these relationships.
Providing value.
Providing value.
Bringing somebody something instead of just asking for something.
On that providing value, I think I've had a conversation with you before. Didn't you start going to these Overland like expos and just filming for them?
Yeah.
To start showing value, like
this is the
that lightning bug. You really distracted me there.
Full disclosure: this is our first outdoor podcast, and there's a couple bugs.
Yeah,
and,
that landed on my forehead.
Shay's seeing shit.
Well, yeah. Again, for years, so these companies, they give. Everyone's like, oh, you just do it for free, crap. Doing video and pictures.
That ain't free.
That ain't free. That's more work than the value of it is.
Yeah.
This is the first year. This year is the first year that we're plus. Red Arc Electronics, they do all the power systems. They make sure you can be self-sufficient. Like, we've got this thing plugged in the Gladiator, and I can open an app, and it says we have 4 days left of power with that thing running, and the fridge running, which is and the lights. It's amazing stuff. Yeah. And they're the ones who paid us to go out west and work the expos for them, because we have an electric dirt bike that we can charge from this too.
Oh, that's so cool.
I should have brought that up. It's fun. But so for them, they see the value of, okay, you actually use this equipment. We want you in an expo talking about it because you can have firsthand knowledge. And then, now I'm doing install videos for them and corporate videos for them. But the difference is I'm not on camera doing these. You may hear my voice, but it's, hey, let's do this install today. It's not, hey, this is Jeremiah with Overland Pioneers.
Yeah.
There are so many YouTubers out there trying to be the star of the show. Hey, I'm so-and-so. We're going to take a look at this. No, I want the product to speak for itself. And that's where I think we've done a little bit, I'm not going to say better. I'm just saying we've been a little bit luckier.
I don't want to gloss over that you said this is the first year that you're positive. I'm assuming you mean like first year you're making money
Correct.
off of this. How long have you been doing this?
The overlanding part, 3 years.
Yeah, so
What
for
he's
anyone
saying is that he bought some stuff that he enjoyed using,
Correct.
and then he has now made partnerships with different people that make cool stuff.
Yeah,
I
so like
put
you
the
don't just
time
get
in.
free stuff. Like you had to work to get to where you're at right now.
Yes, and I'm happy to. I call it, you go to my website, it's on there. I call it karma marketing. Give more than you get, because it'll always come back to you, and it has. Yeah, with a couple of these companies, I've helped start their influencer programs where it's, hey, you should check out these people. I'll even help you, like, let's break down their social media, let's get their engagement rates, let's see what they're actually doing, let's see if they're being non-political, see if they're staying, if they don't do anything controversial. That's important if you're representing a brand.
100%.
Yeah, so it's like you guys representing a client. If you're going around cussing all over the internet or putting out stupid memes, you're probably not going to be taken seriously as a professional. So, with these companies, it's like, yeah, we keep it clean. I may be, hold on a second. I thought I heard someone say, what was that show? I saw it on Ellen. Don't judge me. She said, I love Jesus, but I may drink a little. It's that, it's that mentality of I know who I am. People know who I am because they always meet me in person at these expos. But I mean, online, it's clean. Online, it's everything that needs to be professional. And a lot of people don't conduct themselves that way.
Right. I feel like we dove really deep into each business, and now I want to kind of dial it back a little bit. I have a question about each business, okay?
Okay.
So we've talked about gear. We've talked about cameras. Whenever you started each business, so like two-part question, Beard House Media and the Overland Pioneers, you had a certain goal. I guess Overland Pioneers was just like we said earlier, it was like passion-driven, and you started because you wanted to go see stuff. You had to start with some equipment. You said the first thing you did was cell phones and
GoPros. I had
just
5 or 6 GoPros, and I was like, I'd be like, I'm going to go longboard a garage and strap them to all the corners in my longboard. I'll make some cool footage. I'm going to make money doing this. No, come on.
Right.
Yeah.
But so you told us like it literally was an overnight thing. I'm sure you had to put time in to get better. You had to.
So my parents. It's always always great to have investors.
Yeah.
My parents, I bought a Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. Remember those things?
Yeah.
And I had never operated a manual camera.
I was going to say, you went all out for that one.
Yeah.
That
So,
don't even have autofocus.
Immediately I got on and started teaching myself on YouTube. YouTube is the most amazing education you can ever get.
I said on mine it was my college.
Yeah, and he also learns a lot about fucking espresso on YouTube too.
Yeah, I watch a lot of coffee videos. So.
Yeah, so for me, I watch YouTube videos Peter McKinnon, Philip Bloom. These are all guys who give honest reviews on cameras. These companies send these guys cameras to be brutal.
I own a camera, like all these, because of Peter McKinnon.
Yeah.
He's the reason I got into this.
I just ordered his new filter systems.
Oh, I have everything. So,
And it's
I'm about to get it we can go all day on that. But whatever.
absolutely. But it's these people who give honest reviews and honest lessons, and I have a little field notes notebook that has all my camera settings for each camera I've ever owned, and it's if I want to go do a nighttime star shoot, I'll go watch as many videos as I can on just the Sony cameras. I'll write down the settings for each kind of shot, and I'll go out there and I'll failing try. Now it's just repetition. So after the Blackmagic camera, I went in and got a Sony camera, the Sony A7 III. I'm sorry, no, that's incorrect. DJI Osmo.
Let's see, I knew you were using that Osmo.
The
for a little
Osmo.
while.
I ran a 6-figure real estate business on a
$300
DJI Osmo for 3.5, 4 years.
Well, I was going to say earlier when you mentioned you use a phone and GoPro, you were ignorant to what you didn't know. You got started with stuff that was really easy to use, and then you bought the hard thing and the
Correct.
Blackmagic.
Well, the Osmo, I still ran manual, which digital manual for whatever that is at that time. But even now with I have a Ronin SC for the lighter camera and the Sony. And then a lot of times I now use, for the exterior shots, I use the new iPhone because it's HDR. It uses all 3 lenses and it combines them and it gives you a beautiful flat image that you can then, it's pretty much like shooting in RAW.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. So everything evolves. As soon as the Sony cameras become HDR, I'm going to use the crap out of that too.
Yeah, it needs to.
Yeah.
The iPhones are amazing. People don't realize like you can do so much with the phones now. Like
4K 60 uncompressed. It's ridiculous. Yeah.
I think it's just from an outsider, and I don't know a ton about photography, but I've watched some Casey Neistat videos, and he talks about just getting started. I know that's a vlog and that's a different like industry.
No, I think you make a good point, because what most people in any business don't even do is just do.
Just get started.
I mean, the most basic thing is if you're not even posting daily or even consistently, it can be bi-weekly, you're failing.
Right.
Because if you're not online or on social media as a business, you're failing for one. If you're not even posting consistently, it could be once a week as long as it's consistent. And people are missing that mark.
Right.
somebody asked me what camera to buy the other day, and I was like, well, the best camera is the one in your pocket. So it's the one you always have on you. You're never going to forget it. It's usually on. It's charged. And that's what's going to, if you can capture it, that's what matters.
Our Nova Scotia blog, we shot primarily on the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was just easy just to be like, oh, crap, there's a nice shot. There's a beautiful shot. Instead of getting a Sony out and get the gimbal set up and stop and shoot.
You guys are pretty mobile then? Like you were saying, like as you were going, you had to be like,
oh yeah,
crap, that's really cool.
We don't like, we have a lot to see. Like we covered every square inch of the Nova Scotia coast
Right.
in 2 weeks. And so every day we were moving. We did at least between 5 and 6 hours of driving a day. And so we saw a ton.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's coming from somebody that uses cameras every day.
Yeah.
He uses an iPhone when he's in this beautiful place. And he's
I
like,
cut-
all right, just get the shot. Get
I
it.
cut down 14 hours to 45 minutes.
That's fun.
Yeah. Well, it's a lot. I mean, how many times can you actually see a shot out of the dashboard looking out the front of a vehicle?
So you obviously hit the ground running with this real estate stuff. Did you own a business before then? I know you said you did some restaurant.
Just social media marketing. No,
Was that your only job, or did you have a?
Oh no! Before that, I was doing. I worked for Mobile Instruments, and it's changed. United Seating and Mobility was the company then. It's changed the name for them. But I used to build and custom make pediatric wheelchairs.
That sounds fun.
And prosthetics. Worked with Shriners a lot. I drove all over Eastern Kentucky, delivering wheelchairs and working with kids. It was great, but it's depressing.
Yeah.
And every 2 weeks you make $600, $600 or $700 after taxes, at a 40-hour.
Driving all the way into Eastern Kentucky and whatnot.
Yeah, Pikeville and all that other places, and
Shoo.
in the hills to deliver, because a lot of these families, low-income families, can't come into Lexington to get their wheelchairs. And, especially with poverty, they don't have the vans. So we would go out and bring it to them, go out and repair and all that stuff. It was a great job. It was just depressing. And if you didn't want to, I didn't want to go get more education to move up as a salesperson or something like that. So this started to come along, and I told the wife I'd like to do video full time. She said, go for it.
I was gonna. So what triggers you to say I want to do video full time? Was it monetary? Was it just the?
I had
the
a
rush of
few
wanting to do it?
jobs. In 1 week, I had a few jobs where I was like, I made $600 this week.
And you usually made that in two.
I was like, oh, okay.
It's easy to convince the wife when it's in 1 week.
Exactly. So for us then, it was, okay, so with the real estate stuff, I had 1 million prices when I first began. Now I have 2. Without drones, 125. With drones, 200.
Keep it simple.
Yep. If it's just drone, it's 200 because it's typically more involved for the editing. So for us, it's if I do 6 in a day, that's $1,200 in a day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ow! Twist my arm to do this.
Try to book all these in the same day.
Exactly.
Thank you.
But even then, on a slow day, if I just do 1 or 2, cool.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
It's great.
Is it just you? Are you a one man band?
Yes.
How do you do all of that?
You get at first you work really long hours. Now it's 40 minutes on site and about an hour to an hour and 10 on the computer.
You just gotten way more efficient.
Correct. It's repetition. I can knock these things out.
That's all I've got with these podcasts. I basically edit these in like real time now. As soon as they're done, I pop them out.
Hell yeah. I trust that.
And that's a good point, because I've hired 4 people and I've fired 4 people because no one cares about your business as much as you do. That being said, it's people, I've heard a few business coaches, you and I talked about this before this, a few business coaches have burnt me a little bit by saying things like, "Oh, you have a job, not a career if you're not scaling."
Point them out. No, I'm just kidding.
Well, it's like, if you're not scaling your business, then you have a job, not a business. At what point does that become greedy? At what point is the other question is, at what point, why do I have to scale to be successful? Because making dual 6 figure a year doing real estate and this kind of marketing stuff, what else do I need? It's just me and the wife.
I'll put it this way. Like, if you find something that you're good at, that you enjoy doing,
Passionate
and that
about.
you can do it regularly and make the money that you want to make and that you can survive off of, like, maybe you don't need to build out a team of 40 different photographers and making a cut off each one of their...
I understand the people with the mentality that want to scale, because at the end of the day, you can then step back and just make mailbox money. I get that. But then again, it's not your product anymore. People trust me to come to their house and do a video walkthrough. Every time I've sent somebody else, "Oh, we thought we were getting you.
Mm-hmm.
Can you come back and reshoot it? We didn't really like it." And it could have been that I've had some guys that were as good as me.
It's the same damn thing, yeah.
Same damn thing.
It's just the perception of it.
Kyle Terry.
Yeah.
Terry Enterprise Media. He has the same. He's my referral partner for the photography end of it. And he'll have people say, "Well, I want you to come out and shoot this next one. We liked how you've been shooting the last 5. The last 5 were my other guy, hon. Like, it's been the other guy that's been shooting all these the whole time. Like, he's got an E-key, he's just been letting himself in and doing it. Like, he's going to be out the next time. So Kyle's been able to step back and run his business.
Yeah.
But that's his model. So
I think there's arguments for both. So, like, I run into it some where I have multiple different businesses, and I think I'm like you. I'm a career in real estate and a career also in photography and videography, and I think that other career that I'm super passionate. It's almost like a break from real estate when I'm doing that. Helps me not really want to give my other business to someone else because I'm able to run them both, and like my mental capacity is like still okay because I can take breaks from one or the other when I need to. But like if you were just doing real estate and you were just trying to scale that, then obviously you need to hire people and whatever.
Absolutely. And I have a question for you. So you travel a lot for your pictures as well. In my instance is the most text that I get recently is, "Are you in town?
All the time.
Do you have availabilities?"
Yeah.
And it's if you took off every weekend, that's 50 plus weekends a year. That's 100 days you're taking off. I take off about 100 days a year, but it's usually in 5 to 7 day spurts every month. But otherwise, I'm working 7 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
I take a lot of content in, and I put a lot of content out.
That's the problem.
But I spread it out, and everyone's like, "Are you ever going to be home?" Like, I've been home for 3 weeks, guys.
Yeah.
Like, you just didn't reach out.
It's the 1 week that I'm out of town doing something that you contacted me. Like,
And it's
unfortunate.
It is, and it seems to work that way. But it's So
Does that happen to you too?
all the time, every single time. I just
I have
my
people-
calendar was packed the first week I just got back after being out there for a week, but I'm always gone for 5 to 7 or 9 days. But then I'm back for 3 to 4 weeks, and I'm working 7 days a week.
I have people call me and apologize, like, "Hey, I know you're probably out of town, but I just when you're back, I want to do this." And I'm like, "Hey guys, like it's fine. Like all this is my job, so call me." But like,
I'm here.
I mean, I travel a lot, but like you said, when I'm home, it's 7 days a week. Like it doesn't stop.
Yeah.
So, but
I hope they're not saying like, "Hey, when you get back home, we want to see this house."
That's why I have a buyer's agent.
I know, but then you're like, you should go see that as soon as you can. Because
No.
don't do that.
I've gotten to the point where we're gone so much now, whether photo, real estate, whatever. I just tell people like, "Hey, if I'm gone, just still holler at me. Like we'll get it set up. I got people taking care of me back here."
Yeah.
So
What is sorry, I'm shifting gears here.
What's
again. So you had an easy in to real estate photography. You
I was very lucky, dude. I've had I've done a few podcasts just on, because I teach drone business classes for real estate through dronelaunchacademy.com, where you can get certified for your drone license.
no free shout outs.
No free shout outs. So I've done a bunch of podcasts be like, "Man, we're really struggling to get this." And in every podcast, be like, "Guys, I have been very lucky. I was thrown into the deep end, and I luckily survived and have been able to grow since then." But like, it's not typical. And this was also 6-7 years ago, guys.
you're lucky with your first opportunity. It took work to actually make it happen.
Yes.
Yeah, and
Correct.
So what I was kind of getting at was like, so since then, what have you done advertising wise to keep yourself relevant in each business? So
with Beard House Media first is try to always update the technology, get better cameras, go back and critique myself and on things. And if I notice I'm editing too fast, I slow down. I've exported a few videos I've gone back and after uploading online to Dropbox to send to the client, I'll watch it online. I'm like, oh.
I export videos like 4 times, like 4 different times.
Yes.
I'll have edit 1, edit 2.
I try to spot. I go back and
like
spot check, and then always watching YouTube videos to try to get better. Comparing myself to people that are way better than me, so I feel like crap, so I try better.
This is like you asked me on mine when I said the piece of advice was to be self-aware enough to know like what you need to be better at. Like I need to fix this or whatever. Like you're basically laying that all out.
Correct, absolutely, and not being afraid to say, "Well, that sucked. I'm sorry." Like, can I come reshoot this?
I feel like people appreciate the honesty.
Yeah.
Again, it goes back to like you saying a drone's not going to help you.
No.
Don't pay for a drone. Cool.
Yeah.
Cut it out. Go back and reshoot it if you feel like it. You know, like that's an honest take on
Now,
it.
if you want to do like an agent bio where you're like walking through a neighborhood, drone shots, stuff like that, that's different. But like you said, like if you want to market yourself, cool. But if it's just this listing, like the listing's going to sell itself.
The number
most
one
of the
thing
time.
that was always said to me is 1,000 likes and no sales is an act of vanity.
Mhm.
So there are people that'll make short walkthrough videos just showing the highlights of the house. People actually looking for a home. If you get 3 views that go all the way to the end of that house, those 3 people are shopping for a home.
Right.
So I show the home in its entirety at a good pace so you can see everything. And it's not a boom, boom, boom. If you want that, let me shoot it the way I do it, and then I'll give you another video that's shorter and more fast that's you can use for, self-promotion. But if you're not, if you're looking for 1 million views and no sales, that's an act of vanity. That's not doing anything for you. But on the other scale, this kind of stuff, you want it flashy and fast and sexy and getting it out there and getting it, as much attention as fast as possible because you are advertising.
Mhm.
You are trying to get 1 million likes, 1 million views because the more eyes on it, that's brand awareness. So they're 2 different things. Like I'll notice myself leaving shots up longer than I need to for the Overland Pioneer stuff.
Just because it's like
Yeah.
real estate's running over into
Correct.
It's like trying to golf with your baseball swing, pretty much.
Yes, and I'll go back and I'll pick a faster song and I'll cut to the song that's faster,
Yeah.
which helps me make it more.
That's smart.
So
Fact.
do you see like any trends, like say with your real estate videos where you do so many a year? Do you see like it's slowly trending a different way? You need to like edit or show off houses than say it was 3 years ago, or are you still shooting pretty much the same kind of videos?
You since I'm trying to show the whole home, it's like painting left to right, trying to show the whole home. I shoot the houses the same. It's the homes that are different.
Mm-hmm.
So as long as I'm showing the house with, if we need to reschedule because the clouds are crap or it's overcast, I'd rather do that and get a nice blue sky with puffy white clouds to get it shown the best. So it's the approach to how we need to shoot it and getting the best results more than it is trying to be unique and edgy. Because unique and edgy makes me look good. It doesn't make you look good.
Yeah.
If I can edit it all cool and whatnot, well, cool. If it's going to sell the house, it needs to be, here's all the information as much as possible.
So how'd you learn how to use a camera?
YouTube.
So you did that prosthetic.
Next question.
Well, you did the prosthetic
YouTube.
thing.
Next.
You did the prosthetic thing. What'd you do? Just pick up a GoPro and say, "Hey, I'm
Well,
gonna take
GoPro automatic setting, just
Yeah.
go. Like,
So you just go to a restaurant, and say, "I'm gonna take a picture of your French fries." And
hey, let's get you on camera talking about your menu, and then
Yeah.
put some B-roll. And I had this like,
Did you have any experience in any of that before, or did you just literally walk in somewhere like Saw Good and say, like, "Hey, let me take a video with you"?
so before all this, I was a bar hound. I worked as a barbacks, bartenders, and you meet everybody in the industry around Lexington. It's a small town. I worked at probably 10 bars for 10 years growing up here around here. And so meeting all those people, you just know them. So walking in there is like, hey, I'm starting to do this. $100, I'll give you 5 videos. And feed me a little bit. Oh yeah, I mean, I thought 100 will, but if I did 3 in a row and I made $300 in a day, I went home and edited them. I mean, they're just someone talking and showing 2 extra shots, put a B-roll with the logo and music.
Yeah.
Oh, I was making bank then. I mean, I was just like, this is great.
Yeah.
Well, I still like giving that value, but I actually know what it's worth now. So I'm still not breaking the bank with the $200 video for luxury listing with drone and interior walkthrough. But now I'm more proficient. I have nicer cameras, so it looks better. I still want to give the value on both ends, which is it's hard. It's getting harder because there's always somebody popping up trying to do the same thing.
The same thing for less and quicker and
less, and
They don't last though.
a few of them have, and they're very good at their jobs.
That's why they last.
Matt Huber's
That's
another
why they
one.
lasted though. But like
He
the ones
kills
that
it.
aren't though.
He absolutely kills it. Kyle Terry, He does. So when I'm out of town, he takes over the video listings for our mutual regulars, the Rick Queens of this world, the Meredith Lanes of this world, who crank them out in their particular areas. So if he and I cross over, he does videos while I'm gone, but he does not want to do video. But he's really good at it because he spends 5 times as long on them. So it works out. Yeah.
Nice. What? It sounds like you're enjoying business. What is your favorite thing about owning your own business?
If I don't want to work tomorrow, or if I don't want to work next week, one day next week, I don't schedule that day. It's, what's the saying? An entrepreneur, which another word I hate because it's overused. An entrepreneur will work 80 hours so he doesn't have to work 40.
Very true.
Yeah. So I love that phrase. It stuck with me for a while, and I hate the Gary V's of this world, but he's so good at what he does.
Dude, so he's a lot. But like you're only listening
You
to
don't
pick up
have
that
to
one
curse.
5-second
Yeah.
phrase.
You don't have to curse to get your point across.
Yeah.
It's not edgy. It's not cool. It's unprofessional.
Yeah.
You're a genius at what you do in marketing and helping people start businesses.
He's good because he's consistent.
I think
Correct.
I think it's the authenticity.
I
Yeah.
think it is the authenticity, but there are ways to do that
Yeah.
without all the other stuff. But yeah, that phrase came from him, I believe, and just get up and work. Just get up at 6 a.m. and work until you're done.
My favorite quote by him was somebody asked him, like, hey, like, can you help me give some motivation for me to, like, get up and start my business, stuff like that. And he's looked at him and said, you're going to die. Like, you're going to die someday. Like, you might as well go out there and get started. Yeah. And that's all you need to hear is just those 3 words. Yeah. And like you said earlier, I think you just do it. Like,
be consistent.
Yeah.
Do it. Get up every day at the same time.
I don't do that.
Stop every day at 2 o'clock.
Oh, Shay.
Oh, Patty.
I had to show a house this morning at 8 o'clock, and I had dreams that I was oversleeping to the point like I couldn't sleep and woke up at 5 o'clock, and it was miserable.
You had the wake up early anxiety.
I told my clients, it's like, I'll probably be sleepwalking when I get there, but it's okay.
The good thing about it is like sometimes when you get to those showings and the lockbox isn't open until 9.
I've been there before. Yeah, those are great.
It is I like don't accept my showing.
I just sit on the porch.
And that's the biggest complaint that I get is, you don't have an e-key? Well, no, because you should be here and make sure the house is ready and managing. You want to be here with your client, walking through the house. But yeah, that's, I had an e-key and it's such a pain.
Oh, trust me, I know.
Yeah.
Thinking about getting rid of mine, actually.
So, what's one piece of advice you would offer to someone who just wants to start their own business, not necessarily in your fields or whatever, but just start a business now that you've started too?
Find somebody 15 times smarter than you and annoy them with questions. I have a few guys that I can contact and say, hey, particularly one that's really involved in YouTube and particularly the back end of YouTube. Hey, what's the newest trend? How do I get more exposure? Or how do I tell people to, get more exposure on their videos? And he'll say things like you need to name the file that you're uploading as detailed as possible, like Lexington, Kentucky real estate address, real estate walkthrough.
It notices that?
That's how it finds the search engine first. And it's stuff like that, just like
learning things.
Yeah, and that for me that was just a mind-blowing moment. And he goes, and the next thing you need to do is upload it to your website and completely make a whole write out another blog below it, because that's how Google translate, because Google owns both. Mm-hmm. It's how they puts it out there first, and it'll be a top search. And it's just things like that. You're just like, wow.
Yeah.
Like only use between 1 and 3 links in the description.
Huh.
Because any more than that, you're getting taken away from YouTube, and Google doesn't like that.
Oh, like for anybody interested in social media, like if you post on Facebook, I'll upload posts about this podcast and link YouTube. I get shit engagement on
Nothing.
Nothing. Because I just link somebody to YouTube and not Facebook.
If we post just a picture,
crazy.
It gets likes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to use an example, 50 likes on a picture, 7 if I post a YouTube link.
Yeah. Well, like the Matterport camera. I had the Matterport camera, which is for like scanning a house and doing a virtual walkthrough. I got rid of that because Facebook restricts third-party links, much like YouTube. My clients were getting crap for coverage. So I sold that camera, and I never looked back, because if you upload a video directly to Facebook, it gets the views.
I bought a 360 camera solely for that, and realized like on the 2 to 5 houses or whatever I did of it, it didn't get good engagement. And I realized the same thing you said, the link away it's bad. That's always going to be bad on whatever algorithm comes out or changes or whatever. That's always going to be bad.
Anything that takes it away from its host platform.
Until Facebook comes up with 360 home walkthroughs, you don't need to link anything else away.
Correct.
Right. I think the funny thing about Matterports in this city or this location are there. How many out-of-state buyers do we have compared to a Chicago, New York, Vegas?
Right now,
It's actually
it's
more than you
mostly
think, dude.
relocation because of our inventory. But that's it. In a regular market, like
I see,
5 to
guys.
10%.
No, I'm
My
saying
best YouTube video got over 2,000 views, and it was about moving to Kentucky from out of state. And I had 3 different people call me from it. I've sold like a bunch of different houses.
But you
from
made
that
it
one
about
video.
local fare, so you probably had also a ton of local views.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah. I was just saying like from a Matterport point, like, do we have as many out-of-state? You guys are like, well, there's a lot more. Like, okay, well, how many per capita compared to a Vegas, L.A., New York?
Man, dude,
all
like
those
you
things?
look at a picture, like the picture's right there. If I click a Matterport or a Insta360 video or whatever, I'm waiting 30 seconds for that to load.
and you have to you have to interact with it. It's almost like people are
Yeah,
lazy
It's
or
a
something.
hassle.
Time out. Are your cameras exposed for this darkness coming in?
The ISO's on auto. Look at me knowing what I'm doing.
Well, I probably just insulted you because you know what the hell you're doing too, and I apologize.
I
Sincerely.
hope we definitely leave this in. What's the name of that fridge?
The Snowmaster fridge.
I'm gonna go get a beer from the Snowmaster.
Yeah.
Excuse me, sir.
Okay.
Let's
I'm
take an
gonna
ad break.
Yeah, ad break.
This is brought to you by Country Boy Brewing, located at Chair Avenue in Lexington, Industrial Park, Georgetown, Kentucky.
All right, and we're back, and let's talk about what we learned today. What do you got, Matt?
I love when Shay starts the podcast when I have my phone out. But we're getting into the final segment here.
Yeah.
And I think the biggest thing that I learned was he didn't worry about what equipment he had when he started. He started with a cell phone, GoPros, and just went out and did the work. And then obviously the editing has gotten better over time, and the equipment gets
absolutely.
better over time. It's just a matter of perfecting your craft, just like somebody that starts in the NFL or starts in whatever profession they go into, like the first year that you were in photography. You probably look back at some of your pictures and you're like, not so good. But now, or well, first day or
All
whatever.
all my pictures are fire, but it's whatever.
You get what I'm saying.
Okay.
You've gotten better at editing. You've gotten better at talking to clients, making them feel more comfortable, taking better pictures. Are you okay?
Is something smoking back here?
Yeah, it's the mosquito.
Oh,
repellent.
I'm like,
There's
Matt, I
one.
think you're
There's
on
another one next
fire.
to you over there too.
I mean, I was like, how long before I say something?
Shay didn't tell us, but he did some drugs before he got here.
I didn't tell
no.
them, but I put the thermocells next to us that
Yeah.
repel mosquitoes.
All right,
Yeah.
I have a thermocell. I just didn't think. I don't know. Whatever.
Okay, that's what I
Carry
learned.
on.
Go ahead. Shay's over here swiping at bugs that don't exist. Asking about thermocells.
All right.
This is groundbreaking shit, people.
Honestly, what I'm going to take away the most is that I need to name my YouTube files that I upload because they get me more engagement, SEO,
Correct.
and everything.
Yes.
So,
Hashtag business.
yeah,
Hashtag
real
blessed.
specific there, but that's what I've picked up.
Very specific.
And when you said the doers do, they just go ahead and get started to piggyback kind of off your equipment.
I'm not surprised.
I'm the biggest like gearhead person. I geek out over all of it. But like when I got started with everything, it was with my total package camera lens was $800, and that's what I did everything with for like the first 6 months. So
yeah, like the drone stuff. For the first 5 years, I updated drones quite a bit because I've wrecked 27 drones.
yeah,
So, but again, it's a tool. A lot of people baby their drones. It's a tool. Like I want to get those badass close shots. I want to go through the trees if I can.
have you bought an FPV one yet?
No, it's next.
Ooh, let's do it.
It's
Let's
next.
do it
So-
together. Make it. Yeah, let's do it together.
Oh, I'm gonna wreck that. Some.
I've already wrecked it twice in my head. So
I'm going for it. So, so next is the DJI Mavic Mini 2S
it's awesome.
with the full frame because I fly the Phantom 4 Pro V2 with the full frame sensor.
Get rid of that thing. It's huge. Get the mini.
Oh, it's a workhorse. I love the Phantom series.
No, we're getting FPV.
They're getting rid of them though. But then the FPV because when we were in the salt flats,
They're
one of my
perfect.
buddies had it, and we were chasing the dirt bike and just it goes 95 miles an hour. I mean, it's just ridiculous.
The electric dirt bike goes 95 miles an
No,
hour.
the drone.
Oh,
The electric
I was
dirt bike
like,
goes
my God.
55.
Okay.
That's still, honestly, for a drone going 95, that's crazy.
It's ridiculous, and it's when it starts up and you're thinking, oh, the drone's going to take off. No, it's zzz. I mean, it's
And it'll
screams.
turn on a dime.
That's dope.
It's scary. It's scary. The technology's scary where it's at now. I can't wait.
Love it.
But yeah.
You want to do 5 burning questions?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I feel
You
like
go
I'm about to
first.
get rained on. Yeah. I'll go first. What's one thing when starting your business that you would change or do differently?
I did change something for Overland Pioneers. So when it was before it was Overland Pioneers, it was Kentucky Overland. And then I had a very smart person tell me, if you're trying to do branding nationally, pigeonholing yourself to either a location or a demographic is going to kill you. So I looked up Overland Pioneers. I want to be a pioneer in the overlanding industry.
Oh, that's
You know, all that kind of stuff. I looked it up. All the URLs were open. All the social media were open. I bought everything instantly and changed it. Found a really good guy who did logos online and had him do a nice logo for me. Invest in your brand. Spend money on a good logo. Spend money on, if you're not good at something, pay somebody else that is to do it. So I changed it from Overland Kentucky or Kentucky Overland to Overland Pioneers, and that was the best decision ever made because now I can brand that internationally if I need to.
What's a piece of advice you would give to someone to grow their social media following? Say if it is like a newer business. 'Cause
Again,
you have a pretty big following.
The Beard House Media, a lot of those have fallen off because they were bots. So I'm down, I think, 6,700.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Overland Pioneers, I think 11.4, 11.5, I think. YouTube's not much, Facebook not much, but the engagement is a lot higher. So with the Overland Pioneers, I'll post a video directly to Facebook, and I share it to relative overland groups, 50 to 100 groups. I'm getting 250 to 300,000 people reached organically through groups.
Through groups.
Through
solely.
groups, because groups aren't restricted by the algorithms. If you're in that group, you want to see that stuff. And that's where I'm getting a lot of these businesses to come on and work with us because we're getting these organic, and I even make them administrators on my page. Go dig. Full disclosure. Go look. Go dig. Go into the analytics. Check the stuff out. So that's post regularly, post to relevant people. Facebook groups are a big thing right now. That may change in the future, but as of now, they're big. I would just say that's the main thing.
Yeah.
Just invest in your own business where your brand matters, your image matters. Post regularly. People don't do it. For an agent, every time you get a house, you instantly get between 30 and 100 listing photos. That was a gunshot.
Yeah, it was.
there's
Fireworks or gunshot.
there's 30 to 100 posts right there. It's funny. Real estate is one of the only industries besides yourself that the person's whole job is marketing and they don't create their own marketing.
Yeah, that is very true. That's a good way to look at it.
But what's that bringing down to? Your whole job's relationships. And that also comes down to your relationships online. If you're not interacting with your people, if you're not liking other people's posts, if you see someone's liking yours, go and like theirs. If someone's go comment on theirs. If you're not engaging, you're not getting engagement.
It's a give and take a lot of times.
Absolutely.
All right, number 2, what's your favorite hobby that isn't one of these two things?
Ooh.
I was going to say, like, I have a feeling we know what your favorite hobby
No,
is.
I'm going to put him on the spot.
Coffee.
Sweet.
Love me some
We're
coffee.
the same people.
Jefferson Street
Hold on,
Coffee. Dave.
I was going to give you the softball and you fucking...
Oh, Dave knocks it out of the park. We particularly work with a guy named Got Your Six Coffee out of Springfield, Missouri. He donates like the majority of his earnings to Elliott law enforcement, any active military or law enforcement, paramedics, like all that stuff. They're a great coffee company, and it tastes ridiculous.
I made some Jefferson Street coffee this morning.
Did you?
Yeah.
What kind?
I made some Jefferson Street coffee this morning.
Was it elixir or?
It was elixir. There you go.
There you go.
I have a fellow container I keep everything in. So
Just because I know he's not going to listen to this, Dave's average at best.
Dave's actually a horrible person. He's a trash panda.
Oh God. He's calling you a human raccoon. Next question.
Yes.
Favorite restaurant? Local, please.
Favorite local restaurant? These sound really, really weird. Thoroughbreds. I am a Americana diner seeker outer. Wherever we travel, I try to find the biggest hole in the wall.
You mean like burgers and shit?
Burgers, fries, so Thoroughbreds is in Meadowthorpe area. It's a hole in the wall. I don't know why I keep putting my hand like this.
Yeah. The claw.
I don't know what to do with my hands.
Yeah. Ricky Bobby.
So I love diners.
No joke. Up until you said that, I was literally not paying any attention to it.
Now it's been the whole time, right?
Yeah.
Shoot me. I love so they have something called the Flintstone Chop.
Okay.
It is a 3 bone-in pork chop. It's like this big, if you know.
Oh my
it's
gosh.
it's like barbecued for like 2 days.
Mm.
It's $14 with 4 sides.
Oh man,
What you
I
got
feel like
going
they
on
need
next
to up
week?
their prices.
What do you got going on next
Oh
week?
no, dude! Like they do like homemade everything there, from what's the meatloaf and it's
I
wonderful.
ain't doing the meatloaf.
Do
But
they
yeah,
wanna
so
do a podcast?
wherever we go, I seek out little diners in the middle of nowhere. I'll spend times. A big passion of mine. Okay, another hobby is mapping, pre-planning trips.
I couldn't tell by the GPS coordinates that you
Well, if
sent
you
us
ask
today.
the guilty pleasure question later, it's mapping. That's an odd
Mapping.
one. Yeah.
Oh no, absolutely. I will spend months before we go. Like Nova Scotia, I did months of research. My favorite dish as of Nova Scotia was lobster rolls. I spent $800 on lobster rolls in Nova Scotia trying to find the best one I could.
Oh man.
Dang.
I had one for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. I shit you not, every single where we went. And again,
Did you find what you were looking for?
yep, middle of nowhere, hole in the wall. There were 2 man hand sized lobster claws sticking out of the top of this tiny bun.
That's dope.
And it was just the most epic, buttery, amazing goodness that you ever had in your life. But yes,
Well, I'll have to go there. Next one. What is a musical artist that you listen to that no one would expect?
I mean I don't know. Like I like music like Ben Howard and Noah Gunderson and stuff like that. But I grew up like really loving like old school jazz stuff. So like Chris Bodie. I'm sure no one knows who that is here.
I haven't known a single person you just read. a lot
Diana
there.
Krall. You know who Bon Iver is?
Yeah.
Noah Gunderson and Ben Howard are kind of that, really mellow, like guitar chill stuff. Like, yes, that kind of music. But I love the jazz. Yaz flute. No.
Nope, still nothing.
No,
No, you're not ringing the bell.
Jazz flutes from a movie.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Freaking millennials.
Yeah.
This guy.
This
Yeah.
guy.
I'm a millennial technically, but yeah.
Me too.
Yeah, I'm going to say both of you all I feel like are.
Isn't there a category for us?
It
Isn't there
started like
another
82.
weird gen
Yeah.
intermediary? Because I had cell phones in high school.
I did too.
Most millennials didn't.
No, they did.
No, most millennials did.
Did.
Most Gen Zs.
Did
Gen
they have
Z?
T9 though, where you had to click multiple buttons to get
I
a
had
text
T9
out?
when I first started texting. Was T9.
Okay.
I had an iPhone when I was a freshman in high school.
How old are you?
It was the first iPhone.
How old are you?
28.
Do you know how old you are?
28.
So yes,
It's not a trick
you're a
question.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
These kids
Killing
these
it
days.
though.
Love it.
Last question. Well, no, not last question. Question number 5, and we didn't put question number 6 on there, so sorry.
Okay.
Favorite business book, or your favorite business coach?
I wouldn't say business book because I believe
He keeps
in
trying to give him the call out this business coach.
Stop it. I'd say
know
business
who you
mentors. Get a business mentor or at least people that have been in business for a while over a business book because things change so often these books become irrelevant so quickly. That's why there's always the newest business coach, business plan out there. Find somebody doing it better than you and pick their brain.
That'd be better than any book.
Correct. It's what kills me about these colleges teaching marketing.
Yeah.
There's tenured professors teaching marketing and they know nothing of Instagram or Facebook. I'm on TikTok and killing it, bro.
Don't get me
Are
started.
you?
I've sold a ton of product through a link tree on TikTok.
Don't get me started on college.
I hate college.
Do you want to take the last one?
What is?
This makes me nervous.
I think we've already kind of hit it. What's a guilty pleasure of yours?
Guilty pleasure.
You
TV
said
TV
mapping,
show. No,
but-
dude, that's that's like a.
Let's
pat-
go
like he's,
somewhere
like,
else.
Digs into
Yeah.
the map.
Guilty pleasure.
Yeah. Mine was that I watch hundreds of hours of how to make espresso, and I don't drink.
He doesn't have an
straight
espresso machine.
I don't even have an espresso machine. But I can teach you how to make it if you bought
Oh,
one.
he's gonna run you all the way through it.
I'd say it's a mix between my wiener dogs, who just got a brand new.
I was really hoping
well,
you'd say something after that.
Jesus
My
Christ.
wiener dogs. I just got a brand new
You just
puppy.
got a new one, didn't you?
Yeah, she's like 1.5 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
And Letterkenny.
What is that? What
It's
is
a
it?
show.
God.
If it's not an espresso
I
video,
wanna-
he's not watching it. We just talked
Pitter
about
patter.
it.
I'm going to punch you in your grill for saying that.
I don't I can't even guess what you just
Hey,
said.
was it you? that just said
Letterkenny's
you
a
would-
show. I don't want to talk to you anymore.
Okay,
All right.
sorry.
We just went
Do we
from
need to
having
wrap
a
it up?
really nice moment about cameras. As soon as we get off subject of cameras and coffee, these two are fucked. So, what did you say earlier when you said if so? We were just talking about the grand opening. You're like, if somebody orders something, I'm gonna punch them in the face.
Lemon cookies. Don't order lemon shit. Nobody likes lemon. anything.
Cookies? That's
Yeah.
a thing.
Yeah. One of the current flavors at Crumble right now is lemon. I didn't try it today.
Sorry, I just threw up in my mouth a little.
I know someone had lemon wedding cake at their wedding. So
Animals.
You still took their money, didn't
the
you?
whole thing.
You still took their money.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much for coming on, man.
Absolutely.
This has been a pleasure. I wish we were actually just going to set up camp here and hang out, but unfortunately, we have to get off these random people's land. That gunshot was was a warning for us
We're
to
getting
get
a
the
little
hell out of
close.
here.
They don't like us here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thanks, man. It was awesome talking to you.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Cheers.
I'm Matt.
This is Shay, and this is the Building Small Business Podcast. Peace.
Now I have to start again.